These NFL draft prospects should be on the radar of the New York Giants for the 2027 NFL Draft. We've got a whole college football season ahead of us. So many things can change. But this Giants team is still in the process of building up towards hopefully becoming a consistent contender. They have their quarterback, but they need a final few more pieces in order for this team to be taken over the top. I'm going to break down two different groups of draft prospects for different outcomes this upcoming year. And what I mean by this, I'm going to talk about a few names that I have if the Giants have a bit of a struggling year and a year that it's clear that they're still growing, they're still improving, there's a lot more work that needs to be done, for if they end up picking somewhere in like the 8 to 15 range. The other group that I'm going to talk about is if season goes great, they just barely miss the playoffs, or they get to the playoffs in the pick 15 to 25 range. Now, the first big important thing here for this draft class, thankfully, a lot of the talent strengths for this year's class seem to be at positions where the Giants have their biggest needs. So Giants need receivers. There's some really high-end receivers that the Giants could pick early in the first round. There's also a lot of really good defensive tackles. There could be a deep defensive tackle run that happens this upcoming year. And then also, the Giants could potentially be in the market for replacement safeties for Tyler Nubin, specifically maybe Javon Holland. And there's a lot of really good safeties that could go at the end of the first round if the Giants are picking there. Let's start for the range of pick 8 to 15. The Giants are currently in a position where they could select one of these two players at wide receiver. Cam Coleman, who transferred from Auburn to Texas, is a big-bodied possession receiver who is an unreal smooth athlete. He's got super reliable hands, and on film, numerous times, he made ridiculous catches in critical moments for Auburn. Now his production is probably going to go up, that he is in a much more productive system with a better quarterback, with Arch Manning throwing him the ball. I am a bigger fan, though, of Charlie Becker from Indiana, and I really think that Charlie Becker is going to be the second highest drafted receiver after Jeremiah Smith. He is a long athlete, very similar to Cam Coleman, and to be very clear here, both these guys fit exactly what the Giants need. They need a big-bodied X who's going to win along the boundary. But Charlie Becker did a lot of these same things that the Giants need, a lot of these things that are important for the Giants' success going forward, is he made critical catches in moments when Indiana needed him to the most. Game on the line, fade ball thrown up in his direction, he comes down with it because he is incredibly clutch. His build and the way that he moves for his build is super rare. It's kind of Drake London-ish. And I feel like if the Giants had him in this offense with Malik Neighbors, they'd be able to completely take this offense over the top. In terms of defensive tackles, there's two guys, and I'll throw in a third here, that I think are worth consideration. Amari Washington is going to be exactly what the Giants need at nose tackle. He is a big dude for Oregon. He moves unbelievably well for his size. He is going to be super strong at the point of attack. He is going to be hard to move off the ball. He is going to just wreak havoc in the interior, and that's what the Giants need. He is the potential replacement for Dexter Lawrence if they're picking somewhere around 15 or whatnot, and they decide to go with him. Two Miami players, Justin Scott and Ahmad Moten, two defensive tackles from the University of Miami, are very different players, but are very athletically gifted. Moten is a more experienced player. He is very strong. He does a really good job of holding his ground against the run, especially. And Justin Scott has a lot of upside to possibly play one of those 3-4 defensive end spots alongside the current grouping. He's got really good flexibility. Reminds me a little bit of Jalen Carter, who we all know is a huge problem whenever the Giants have to face the Eagles. Now, if the Giants pick in the 15 to 25 range, those defensive tackles I think are going to still be on the table. Justin Scott, Amari Washington, and Ahmad Moten. I'll throw in one more defensive tackle that I think is worth monitoring. Will Echoles from Ole Miss. He would be a perfect 3-4 end, long player, similar to Scott in the regard that he's flexible, he's really explosive, he plays really well with his hands. He could be a really productive interior rusher. And that's the type of body that the Giants need in order for their defensive tackle group to become really impactful and high upside. I like the idea of potentially taking Will Echoles at the end of the first and seeing him become a key piece for the defensive front. The safeties, potential available safeties. There's two guys that I think are worth monitoring. Generally, safeties don't go very early, but either of these guys could go in the first round, And if the Giants were to take a safety, I don't see it happening early. It would probably be if they were in this circumstance where the year goes well, they don't really have a pressing need. They feel secure about defensive tackle. They feel secure about wide receiver, and they want to look at their options to replace Tyler Nubin. Tay Johnson from Notre Dame flies all over the field. He's got really good instincts. He's got really good size. He just has a really good natural feel for the game and for space around him. Jelani McDonald from Texas. So Tay Johnson would be playing free safety. Jelani McDonald from Texas, I think, could play either strong safety, could play free safety. He's 6'2". He's another guy that takes really good angles to the ball, gets upfield in a hurry. His range is unbelievable. He can play from sideline to sideline. That is the type of stuff that the Giants need. They need heady football players that are reactive, that get downhill, make plays, can make plays in the box, are not liabilities like Tyler Nubin and Javon Holland. Tyler Nubin to a degree against the run and Javon Holland in coverage. They need reliability, and I think both those players would provide that. And then I'm going to throw in one more player that is a wide receiver that I think will probably go at the end of the first round. Mario Craver from Texas A&M was a huge big play threat for the Aggies this past year. He has unbelievable juice. He can completely kill you if you give him just a little bit of space. Mario Craver, I think, would be, if those big-bodied X receivers are off the table, they're gone, and the Giants wanted to get creative with a different direction. If they wanted somebody who would be super explosive, deep threat with the ball in his hands, that is something that the Giants just don't have right now. They don't have that kind of speed that can be that secondary third option in the receiver room alongside Malik Neighbors. Comment below if there's any college football players that you really want to see on the New York Giants in the future. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. We'll talk to you later.